Mark Gilman, along with Western Oregon head football coach Arne Fergson, and coach, the long trip down to Dixie State, a fruitful one as your team outscored the Red Storm in that 46-34 contest, and a ball game with a lot of good things to talk about from the Wolves' perspective.
The game was very close. As we all know, their offense has been leading our conference. Their quarterback and their receiver, and also their tight end, who had 170 yards, had a great day, are very special players. So we knew we had our hands full, especially after the long trip. We were able to get there around midnight, and then the next day, we pulled out a win. But the next day, as far as the travel, we ended up waking up at 3:30 in the morning, early airplane trip home, so our guys can study on Sunday. So very tired weekend, but Dixie's a tough place to play, as we all know, especially against a potent offense that has done so well in our conference and really coming in their own. But really excited with Tyrell responding. He had 184 yards, GNAC Player of the Week. Ryan Bergman, and then Antoine Wafer had 161 yards and all-purpose yards, so jumped in on some kickoff returns and really helped us. So really, it was a battle in a high-scoring game. As a defensive coach, you don't like those things, but very talented, skilled players on offense on both sides of football.
And I know they did score 36 points, but there's also some good things to say about limiting Dixie to some field goals where there were some golden opportunities for them to put it into the end zone for 6. Yeah,
their tight end is leading our conference and scoring inside the red zone and overall TDs, and to have our corners play very well, really a ball that hit the ground. It could have gone either way, really fought to get it out. Started off with them on the field goal because they do move the football on everybody. And then also against a real good player, their tight end again, we were able to cause a fumble and recovered it on the one. Our offense got some room and able to get out of that. So it was a game that we know Dixie on the road, especially with that type of offense, could go either way. To limit field goals early gave us a really extra cushion so we could be a little more conservative on defense. It didn't feel like we had to push as much.
And then you talked about with Antoine having the all-purpose yards. That included that big kickoff return that set you up late in the first half. For I thought it was a momentum changer for the touchdown.
Oh, yeah, they really were starting to get some things going, and then they able to come back in our offense with a quick strike, really able to stop their momentum, which was the main thing at that time.
And then A.J. Hull, of course, with a big interception return. You always like to see those. You don't get to see him very often, but he did a good job of following his blockers. And I've been told he's a great athlete in every aspect. He looked like a wide receiver following his blockers back.
Yeah, AJ's he started a couple of games ago. Had an okay game. Didn't play as well as we'd liked or he'd liked. He's a young kid that's learning. And also this game, he ended up being, I will mention, GNAC Player of the Week defensively with 12 tackles, a pick for an interception. There's a combination of a ball being tipped, we think, or pressure where the quarterback couldn't step up. And then also AJ, we've had him at receiver. We've had him at running back. We feel like he's really found a home at safety. And as he gets bigger and stronger, we expect great things for him in the future.
Now this week, home, which is nice, get some rest, and you're playing a Simon Fraser team that's coming off what could be called a good old-fashioned fanny whooping at the hands of Central Washington. I was a bit surprised by that, but that's also a scary thing when you face a team after they've lost that big, that they come in doubly determined.
Yeah, the Central Washington did a good job of getting, I believe, four to five turnovers from a recovery, and then 3 or 4 picks. And then their special teams had 3 really huge plays, I believe, for touchdowns. So that's what really opened it up at Simon Fraser. We expect to see the real good receiver back. Lamar, he's probably one of the, if not one of the top receivers. We feel like him and Tyrell, really the overall 2 top receivers in our conference as a whole. We expect to see him back. He has been playing since game 1. It's about time really to see him back. He's a very special player. And then their running back's been doing well. Their quarterback is coming off of injury with our game. So we'll see how healthy he is, and because early, if you guys remember, I mean, those guys were leading our conference, kind of where Dixie was. So we really expect them to hit that second stride as they get healthy in our conference, because that's a key at Division II, and especially playing each other twice, because those games are so physical. So we got to limit the big play offense again, very similar to Dixie.
Right. And still plenty to play for here down the stretch. Your team continues to play well. You've got this is one of a series of obviously important games. Here is you're right on the heels of top two teams in the conference.
Yeah, the main thing for us is our main focus is for us to play better. We're in second place right now. We know that Central Washington and Azusa play each other this weekend, and we're fortunate we're in second place with able the opportunity to play both those teams. But we know that Simon Fraser is our biggest concern right now. They're a very explosive team, but we feel like we're in control of where the GNAC is going to end up, and that's a good feeling to be in. Our offense is continuing to get better. They're playing harder, they're blocking better, they're running the football better, especially late in games. And then defensively, we got a better pass defense, and we're working on that. And we felt our D-line front is really starting to come into its own with John Benton back. So it's nice to have him going again.
All right. Well, Coach, plenty of positives here, and looking forward to another great ball game. As always, thanks for your time.
You bet, Mark. Appreciate it.